Hey guys, Greg, your local metalhead here. So Nick was feeling a little under the weather, so I pulled out one of our old episodes. This is Synecdoche, New York. It's going to be our filler episode until he's feeling better and we can get on with the show next week. Hope you guys enjoy.
With cinema.
Welcome back to War with Cinema. I'm your host, Greg, your local metalhead, and with me is...
Part the collector, motherfucker. Get the intros out the way, dude. You got to ask what we're coming today, man.
Well, since you can't say the name of this movie, we're doing Synecdoche, New York.
Yeah. Don't bother Googling it. Like, holy fuck, bro. Really?
Yeah. So, I forgot the director of this movie actually wrote Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which is
that
top
makes
10,
perfect fucking sense of
top
why
10
this movie
favorite
sucks
movies
so
for me.
much ass, bro.
Hey,
I'm sorry, bro. We will never agree on that movie.
Charlie Kaufman,
Nope. Oh, yeah, Charlie Kaufman. Yeah, fuck that guy.
writer, director. This is like his baby. This is his directorial debut. Budget,
Oh, there's a lot of visuals. I'm going to go 30 mil.
20 mil.
All right. Well, all right.
A cumulative worldwide gross,
Nothing.
4 mil. 4.6 mil.
Wow, that's a shocker right there.
Yeah, this is a very niche film. I'm going to put that away. Well, let me get into the stars because there's a lot of people in this movie.
Yeah, there
actually.
is a bunch of big names, man.
Philip Seymour Hoffman, R.I.P.
R.I.P., yeah.
Um,
I had a joke. I didn't know if I was going to make it, but I'm going to make it. Like, this is what drove that man into heroin.
damn.
Yeah. Like, that's what I felt when I watched this movie. It's so fucking sad, bro.
It kind of
It's
makes
so depressing. Like,
him passing away makes this even more sad of a movie.
for real, bro. Like, I almost, like, had trouble watching certain parts. It's just like, fuck, this guy was a real treasure, though. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
definitely.
Even though it's a dog shit movie, he still brings his A game to everything, dude.
Catherine Keener.
Yeah. What's her name? She's a big timer now.
The girl from
The
the
blonde girl.
the Red Dragon.
Mm,
I forget her name.
Michelle Williams.
There you go.
She was in Venom, too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I like her a lot.
Don't her and Tom Hardy date in real life? Or was that something I heard? I don't know. Somebody
know.
told me they were actually together.
Tom
though.
Hardy's really private about his private life, so
Yeah, like
I don't know what he
somebody asked him if he was gay one time, man. He roasted that dude for like 10 minutes straight.
I loved it. He's like,
What are you getting on about?
yeah,
Well, he sounds a lot more brutal. But like,
right.
you asked him in that Tom Hardy stare. Fuck are you getting on about?
I love that because he's like, "Are you asking me about my sexuality?" He's like, "Yes." He's like, "Why?"
Why? Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love it.
You seen it too. I forgot what movie it was for, though. They were doing that, though.
I don't remember.
But, yeah, the older lady, she's in it too. She's been in a bunch of stuff.
Oh right.
I forget her name, but she's a great actress too. That's what blew me away, man. This fucking cast, bro. The lady from 40-Year-Old Virgin, that's Kinner, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kathleen Kinner. She's a good actress. I like her.
So let's get into it. What'd you think about this movie?
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, it was the longest, most depressing movie I've ever had to sit through.
Yes.
And maybe it's because I have a daughter, but the shit that they did with his daughter, I hated that. Like, she, he thinks in his mind that she's 4 and she's being tattooed and all this and that. And like, it's just, it really depressed the shit out of me, man. Like, I had to watch a comedy after this. Like, it fucked me up. Like, but the synopsis, like what I'm gonna give you, because like I said, about halfway through this movie, like a lot of other shit I've watched from you, like it slowly, I started losing grip of what the fuck they're even trying to talk about. Because at first it starts off like a normal movie. This guy's a playwright. He's got a big play about to come out. And the movie starts off, his alarm's gone off and he's listening to a radio show. A lot of layers. It's just like, sorry to bother you. A lot of imagery, a lot of deeper meanings. And I was just like, man, this shit's going over my head, but I'm trying to keep up with it.
Thing that they do in this movie, that part where he's eating breakfast is a really cool scene, is if you pay attention to the dates, they're progressively going on throughout this one scene. Like, he wakes up, it's September 22nd, I think, because it says it on the radio. He gets the newspaper, it's like October 7th.
Yeah.
He opens it up, it's October 17th.
And it was really crazy how they did it, because like you don't know what year it is, because the TV's from like the 50s or 60s or whatever.
It's supposed to be 2005 in this scene, and it
Really?
goes all the way through to like 2025. So it's like a 20-year, little bit longer span of this guy's life.
This dude, the director, the Charlie Kaufman, like he went for it. Like, when you say this is his baby, I believe you, because he didn't, like, what I would consider, like, if you were going to tell a story, he just went for it. Like, I'm going to tell our story, And if they like it, they like it. If not, fuck them.
It's so many stories like wrapped into one big ass movie. Like, it's so crazy.
And it got on my nerves later on when something would happen to would have happened to Philip Seymour Hoffman, and then they would fucking redo the scene because he'd put it in the show or whatever. But you're watching with the B-roll actors. Like, I was just like, what the fuck is going on here?
So did you get anything from this movie? Like, I know you felt sad afterwards because it is a very like melancholy, just depressing movie. But the first time I watched this movie felt so heavy. Like, I just had to like sit and evaluate my own life
for
after
real
watching this movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It put me into a fucking depression. It made me think about things I don't want to think about, Greg. Like, my daughter was dead asleep. I just went in there and hugged her. Like,
I'm so glad you said that because I feel like this movie, anybody can get something from it. You got your daughter's thing from it. I don't have a daughter, so I didn't get that from it. But when I watched this the first time, like years ago, I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago, I was really getting into the creativeness. And that's the part that really hit me, was him trying to do this epic, wanting to, make an impression on, the artistic world with his masterpiece. And I felt that, and I just know what it's like to just try to be such a perfectionist in what you're trying to do. So that's what really stuck with me.
I know, it's just so crazy. Like, I think it's like halfway through the movie, he's standing up on the stage and he's just yelling at everybody, you're not just a person, you're a character. Or he's like, you are your character. I'm going to give you a note every day, and that's what's happening with your character. There's even going to be somebody playing me, and he's going to have notes. And that's when the movie, I felt like, kind of went off the fucking rails afterwards. But like, he's like, when are we going to get some people in here? What do you mean? We've been doing this for 17 years. Yeah. Rehearsing this. It's not ready yet. It's not ready to have people in here yet. And at first I thought they built the fucking thing in like a baseball stadium that had closed down or some shit, or it looked like a train station or something.
It was a warehouse.
It's just a warehouse. That was the biggest fucking warehouse I've ever seen.
But they do that's the thing, is that it's layers and layers, because they have to build a warehouse inside of that warehouse. Yeah. Because he starts replicating life.
His life with that. Yeah, I know. Like I said, man, I felt dumb watching this to a certain extent, because I was just like, I know there's probably a deeper thing going on here, but I'm just not getting it.
There is. There's a lot of psychological, medical conditions. People's names and stuff are actually medical conditions.
Right.
There's a lot of literature sprinkled out through this movie. I don't read like that, so I don't recognize them, but I've heard people talk about them. It's a very, very dense movie, but at the same time, you still walked away with something. Like, you went and hugged your daughter because this movie,
oh yeah, for sure,
like, touched you in some kind of way.
Artistic value. I know why you love this movie, because I know how you are.
Yeah.
Like, it looks beautiful. And the imagery, and like the parts where she's in the house, like, I just don't know if I want to buy a house. And she's like, why? She's like, I don't want to die from the smoke inhalation. Like, the house is constantly on fire and getting worse and worse over time. And I'm sure that's a whole deep thing, but like, she's like, well, my son lives in the basement. I hope that's not a problem. Or then they start dating. And I'm just like, man, this fucking movie, dude. Like, I felt like I had my hands around it and it just kept slipping out. You know, like, I was just like, fuck, dude. What is it this guy doing? Like,
I love those like between reality and dreamlike, where they kind of like merge the two, where you can't tell if it's like a dream state or it's actual like real life.
Yeah, because they don't there's no leadway or nothing. It's just like, did that happen or did it not happen?
There's some people that say this is his purgatory.
I could believe that.
Because there's hints, because it's all about death. Like, so many people die in this movie.
I would say it's more about I would say it's more of his hell than anything.
Health. That's another thing that I picked up on this, is because his health is deteriorating, but he's obsessing over it at the same time. And I have a habit of doing that. Like, if something goes wrong with me, I obsess over it until it's like fixed.
Right.
So I got the same feeling from that.
Yeah, I felt like this was more of like his own personal hell. Like, he was trying to tell his story, but it's just like it wasn't being able to get done because of where he was at emotionally or, mentally.
Let me just read the synopsis from IMDb.
Yeah, you do that, man, because they're going to give a better picture than I can.
Yeah, a theater director struggles with his work and the woman of his life as creates a life-size replica of New York City inside a warehouse as part of his new play. And there's
And based off of what I just read, I read almost the exact same thing on the back of the case.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, here we go. Screenplay. He's losing his shit a little bit. Da 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 da.
Well, let's let's walk through it a little bit instead of like scatterbraining. So it opens up with him, his wife, and his daughter. You know, time is slipping through his fingers because of the imagery. His wife decides she wants to go to Berlin alone for this art show because she does like little paintings.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that's a thing now. Like people do the
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like New York, very New York.
And they keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller throughout the film.
Yeah.
She ends up leaving him. He is trying to cope with his wife and daughter leaving. So he starts dating this other girl. Well, actually, Hazel.
When she tries, she's thirsty as hell the first half hour of the movie. She wants him more than anything, and they go out. It's after the play, and she says she can't go because I just can't go. I wish I could go. I just can't go.
Yeah, she says she has to ship out paintings or whatever.
Right. So she that was hilarious. The little crates. That was hilarious, but. Some of the shit I thought was kind of funny, but I don't know if it was meant to be funny or not. But I laughed at it.
That is pretty amusing, yeah.
But yeah. So he goes to this chick's at the play, and then he's talking to Michelle Williams, who was the star of that play, and she gets jealous because she thinks he wants the blonde. So the redhead is trying hard.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really crazy too. Like, she offered to get stoned with him, and he said, I get horny when I'm stoned, and I really want you, but I'm trying to be a good man, you know?
Right.
And he gets home, and his wife is getting stoned with that other chick.
Yep.
Which, fuck that lady in that movie, man.
Yeah, she's kind of a bitch.
Oh, dude, what she does to his daughter is fucked up alone, but like, anyways, so fast forward, like you said, his wife goes to Germany, and him and the redhead go out.
Yeah.
And she's trying to cheer him up, but also still trying to get him at the same time.
Yeah. And
he's like, I'm married. I have a child. Like, I can't do this. Like, I'm a good man. Like, I don't want to be this way. She's like, she left you. He's like, they've only been gone a month. She's like, what are you talking about? They've been gone a year.
Yeah.
I need to get you a calendar.
Right. That shows he has like no concept of like time.
Right. Because he's so focused in on his goal, you know? And she tries to have sex with him, and he's just like so depressed. Like, misses his kid, misses his wife. And the thing, you know what's crazy is, like, I don't know how much Philip Seymour Hoffman made for this movie. A lot of it spent fucking cleaning. That's what they should have called this movie. Watch Philip Seymour Hoffman clean shit. Because he's like, I do love to clean. Like,
this
is like a therapeutic process. I get it, but like,
yeah, it's to get his mind off of all the bullshit in his life.
He scrubbed the shit out of that paint room, man.
Oh yeah,
it didn't even look like the same room after he got done with it.
But as soon as he was done, he like all his problems set back in. So I know that feeling all too well.
Oh yeah, man. It's always good to get your mind off of that one problem.
Yeah.
And it'll work itself out, or it'll come to you, whatever. But
right. So him and the redhead like don't work out. It's like a really awkward. So they go their separate ways, and then he starts to pursue the blonde, or she's more like infatuated with him, and he kind of just
like he kind of takes advantage of it because she like looks up to him like a hero or a mentor or whatever.
Right. But this sequence is really, really short. It goes by really quickly as he starts dating the blonde. They get married. They have a kid, and then they start fighting like immediately. That shows like the shortness of their relationship.
And I didn't like that either. The fact that he had a daughter with her and kept calling her Olive.
Yeah.
He's like, I meant Ariel. Like,
well, that's to show, like, my interpretation was it was to show he was trying to replicate his old family with this new family.
Because the new little girl kind of looked like, you know, because the wife in this is blonde. Was blonde before he goes white haired and gets really old in the movie. So, but like the little girl still with the short black hair, like it was just like like a slap in the face. Like you had another family, but you're still not going to replace your family.
He even says like, I'm going to go find my real daughter. She's like, your real daughter? Like, what are you
that was
about?
shitty. Because like I said, man, I'm a father, you know what I mean? And fuck that bitch for taking his kid to fucking Germany and then never bringing her back.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that was a really shitty thing to do. Like, I understand you needed to get away, but to take his daughter, but then at the same time, he could have gone after them, I think. because he knew she's pretty popular and famous. That she wouldn't have been hard to find.
Well, sometimes it should, and that's where the deeper meaning, I guess, comes in, because he does the thing where he tries going over there to see him, and I say her name's Marsha or Mara or something like that. Anyways, the wife's friend,
Right?
She meets him. You get to me, and then I love how they all got German accents now, like they've never lived in America.
Yeah.
But because if I had to make a list of the top 5 shittiest things you could do to me, taking my kids away from me would be like number 1.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
I think it stands for anyone.
Well, I mean, it should if you're a fucking parent. That's the sad part about it, though, is not some people feel that way. You know
That's
what I mean?
definitely true. I've seen that.
I have friends or former friends that they're not good fathers. You know, they don't care about their kids, but that's a discussion for another day. But anyways, that's, like I said, that really touched on me, and it's just like this poor guy couldn't get a fucking win, man. Like, you know, it's just like one of those things. Like, the further I got into the movie, I was just like, I had to make peace with the fact that, like, it's just not going to get better for this fucking guy.
Yeah.
And then, like, the fact that shit kept going wrong with him, but he was still alive. Like, you know what I mean? And then, like, he's just like, something's all about death. I know how to do this play now. It's all about death, you know? And he finally brings all the people from his first show that we see at the beginning. And they start erecting all these, like, scenes, you know, because stuff's happening in his real life. And he's like, nope, I want to make that. I want to make that. I want to make that. And I would say the warehouse is really the only place that anything makes sense without making sense in that movie. That's what I got out of it. Until he built it and started watching it from the outside, like, it didn't really happen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It kind of blends, like, reality and his vision of the play together, where it's like you're not sure what's real and what's the play.
And like you said, once the thing gets erected and it gets so big, you don't know if they're in the made-up city or if they're out on the actual streets. And then later on, as he starts getting older, you know, it's like, I'm guessing it's like World War III outside.
I think so.
Because, like, you know, people got hazmat on, and there's always fucking shit blowing up. You hear guns and see military trucks riding by and stuff. So it's like the world's just gone to shit, and this guy doesn't even acknowledge it because he's so focused in on his goal.
Exactly.
You know? And I think that's why you like this movie, is because it's just like, no matter what I have to go through, mentally, personally, physically, whatever, I'm going to get done what I want to get done.
That's like a bad habit I have. I get so focused in on something that I'm working on, I kind of, everything around me kind of falls to the wayside.
Exactly.
And I hate that about myself, so I'm trying to be aware of it, but that's the part that resonated most with me.
Yeah, like that was something else I took from the goal, or that I took out of the movie, was like, okay, you know, you got to, you know, when you're stretching yourself too thin. And in this guy's case, he lost his fucking mind trying to do this play, or, you know, social experiment, whatever he ends up calling it by the end of it. But yeah. So it moves forward after that. He just keeps going through. Him and the blonde are dating, but they're not dating. And then he starts trying to talk to the Hazel lady, which is the redhead. And she's done got married, and now she has kids with him, which happens in a blink. Like, at first we're dating, and the next is like, we have 3 kids. How you been? You know, and he's, well, then he starts having seizures, and then, like, there's the scene. I thought that was hilarious when he's in the scene with or he's in the doctor's office and his legs just doing like this. Yeah, this started today. Yeah. I don't know what it's all about. Can you tell me what's wrong? No, you can't tell me what's wrong, or you don't know what's wrong. No. He does it like 5 times. Yeah. He's like,
well, you ever notice every time he talks to the doctor, they mishear him?
Yeah. So, or he mishears them.
Right.
He's like, you need to go see a neurologist. Why would I need to go see a urologist? He's like, there's nothing wrong with my piss. And he's like, no, the neurologist. Yeah. Oh, I know what a neurologist is. Okay. Hey. Yeah. Like I said, there was a lot of shit that in this movie that I just was like, man. And dude, that creepy old motherfucker, bro.
Right. The stalker.
Dude, that ends up playing him later on. And I was like, if they don't explain why this fucking guy is here, it's going to fucking drive me insane, because he's literally in every fucking scene the first hour of this movie, and it never says anything about him. Yeah. And then, of course, he's like, that's when I bring me back to the point where he's like, everybody's going to play somebody. Even somebody's going to play me. And that dude, of course, is waiting in the waiting room. They call him in. He's like, hey, I'm Sam. I've been following you for 20 years. Yeah. Nobody can play this part better than me.
Yeah, he even starts speaking for him, like things he's thinking.
Out of his life, yeah. Yeah. Like, okay. Give him the job. You know he needs the job, or like you know he wants the job.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, Philip Seymour Hoffman, rest in peace, man. That guy was a treasure. But this movie had to fuck him up mentally. Like,
oh, I'm sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
to go through all that.
I don't know how many more he did after this before he passed, bro. But like, dude.
This came out in 2008, so he did a few more.
When did he die? 14, 12, 13, somewhere around there?
I'm not exactly sure if I'm being honest.
I want to say it's like 14 or 15, maybe.
Was it?
I could be wrong, but it feels like he's been gone a while now.
I know.
Because
14.
14, yeah. Because I remember he had like 2 more movies that came out right after he passed that he had finished before he went out.
Yeah, the Hunger Games.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They had to like
CGI.
They had to Carrie Fisher him in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, like I don't know, man. That guy, like he's so deep in his craft, bro. Like, what is it about people that have that talent? Like they have to be tortured to be that good?
I think to a certain extent. I think some people do.
Because if you look back in history, bro, all those great, artists, those great emotions, like to Jimi Hendrix, they all had demons. Richard Pryor, Chris Farley, they all had things that just crushed their lives. Like they did everything to make us happy, but their lives just went to shit in the process because it's like they didn't know how to coexist with each other or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like
I think you have to have like a certain. I've always heard like to be a genius, you have to be a little crazy.
Yeah. Fuck Kurt Cobain, bro. Like the list goes on and on, dude. Like it's just insane to me, man.
Mm-hmm. A lot of them die from like drug overdoses too.
Yeah.
Like they get so deep into the drugs that it's kind of sad.
They said that's what happened to Jimi Hendrix. He choked on his own vomit from heroin.
I mean, that's what happened to Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Is that what happened to him? I know he OD'd. I didn't remember that.
It's a lethal drug mix cocktail, whatever.
Yeah, because they say he was like speedballing and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's insane, bro. Like, and they're getting younger too, like Juice WRLD. Like
that's the part that makes me sad. Is like
that kid was 20 years old, bro. And I mean, like, even if you're not a big fan of hip hop or whatever, like that kid had talent.
How old do you think Jimi Hendrix was?
Jimi was like, I think he was 28 or 27.
That's
something
so
like that.
young still.
Yeah, it is.
The thing that like
to
really
have that amount of workout though, to
exactly.
have that kind of, you know what I'm saying? To be so young,
to have that impact and be so young, like that's the part that makes me sad. Is like I guess I didn't have that impact. Like I'll never have that impact.
Well, I mean,
it's just like
he's a goat, like,
exactly.
But it gives you something to strive for,
right?
But at the same time, it kind of scares me. Like, bro, I don't know if I want to be that good. You know what I mean? Like all the money in the world, all the accolades in the world couldn't save that man or his, you know what I mean? Like, and even with Kobe passing, like, you know what I mean? That man did accomplish so much and to go out so crazy, like such a tragedy, you know?
Well, it kind of harpens back to this movie.
Yeah, like I said, man, this movie really like it put me in my feelings for a little bit because like I had to sit there and it just doesn't. It makes you stare at all the shit that could go wrong or went wrong in your life. Like, that's what I get out of it, too.
I'm so glad you said that because I'm glad you got that out of this movie. I didn't want you to, like, watch it and be like, a stupid fucking movie. Like,
oh, I still thought that, but, like...
I mean, but you still...
That's what I think pissed me off so much is the fact that it did make me think and feel that much. You know what I mean? Because you know me, bro. I'm more of a blockbuster guy. Like, I like to just enjoy it and move on.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, this doesn't have, like, a cohesive plot.
Right. No, it's all over the place. It
really makes you think about it and think and
why would they do that? Why did they show me that? You know what I mean? And I found myself asking myself that probably like 6-7 times while watching it. But let me tell you the worst part, the part I hated more than anything, man, is it jumps forward like 10 fucking 20 years, whatever, 50 years. And he gets a fucking random phone call. Your daughter's dying. You need to come see her.
Right.
So he goes to Germany. And this woman's been in Germany. His child's been in Germany so long she doesn't speak English anymore. And he has to put a translator on to talk to his dying daughter.
Yeah.
And I hated the scene, but I loved that. Like she had like, you know, because that's the whole thing. Like she grows up overnight and she becomes the tattooed girl or whatever.
Right.
And she starts dating the wife's friend. And it's going to drive me crazy not knowing that woman's name. But she has all these flowers. And that was supposed to be the gimmick, I guess, that got her in the art world. Was she was the youngest tattooed model or whatever. And she had all these flowers up her arm and around her back and down her ass and everything else. And all the flowers were wilted.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know what I'm saying? Like
even one falls off when she passes away.
Passes away, yeah, which I was going to say was fucking beautiful imagery. I just wish I didn't hate the message, or not hate the message, but hate the scene so much. Because like this guy's just fucking been tormented this whole movie. And they fucking make up some shit about the reason why he wasn't around was because he was gay and that he was having sex with some guy named Eric. Like,
yeah, but you don't notice the transition between like him, like by the end of the movie, he's a woman. He's Ellen.
Yeah. But not at that point. He's still him at that point, though.
Yeah, but I feel like, so I'm not 100% sure what they're trying to say with this, but I think he battled with that his whole life, his sexuality.
Mm.
That's just what I got from it, is he did battle the sexuality. Like he wanted to be this straight, male father figure, husband, but he was gay. He was like a woman trapped in a man's body.
Yeah, I could see that a little bit. Yeah,
I just feel like that's what it was trying to hint at.
But like just the things that she's like, I want to forgive you, but I can't forgive somebody that hasn't asked for forgiveness.
Yeah.
And he's like, but that stuff's not true. Like, I looked for you. They kept you from me. Like, I loved you more than anything. Like, all I wanted to do was be with you and your mom. And she's like, I don't believe you, you faggot, or something like that. It just broke my soul. Like, bro, if my daughter ever said some shit like that to me. First of all, I never want to see my daughter that sick. You know what I mean? Like, it just bothered me a lot, dude. They just skipped 20 years and this man hasn't seen his child. She went from 5 to fucking 40.
I was thinking about that too. Like, imagine your daughter now being taken away and you haven't seen her, you have no contact with her. 20 years later, 30 years later, you meet her. She's a grown woman. She's a person. Like, how fucking crazy would that be?
Shit's making me fucking sad just now thinking about it, bro. But like, yeah, dude, that shit broke me. After that, I was like, I don't even care what happens anymore, man. Just finish this fucking movie.
Yeah.
Like, it was a really powerful, like, scene. You know what I mean? And then she's like, Melissa, that's what I'm just going to call her because I can't think of her name. Melissa showed me how to be me. She led me to my vagina and hers. And I was just like, dude, like, she's shitting on this man so hard. And it just keeps getting on, just keeps going.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, the one woman, the older lady, I forget her name, but she did a great job too. Like, switching out. And she knows that he's at the end. She's like, why don't you let me play you?
Oh, right. Ellen.
And you take a break. He's like, I still want a hand. And then she's like, why don't you play Ellen? Mm-hmm. I do love to clean. And he starts scrubbing shit, and it just makes him feel better, I guess. But
yeah,
the movie gets, and then I kept trying to think that, when he's doing the last walkthrough and she's talking into his ear, telling him where to go, what to do.
Yeah.
That last scene where he sits on the couch with that lady, like, I keep thinking, was she in this damn movie before this part?
There was a flashback scene of a little girl and a mom, like a picnic. She was the mom.
Okay. See, I was thinking to myself, like, fuck, what is he telling me right now? Because he's like, now has to put your head on her shoulder. Yeah,
because Ellen was the little girl, but it's supposed to be him. Like, that's the part I get convoluted.
Yeah, you know what? Because then that does make a lot of sense towards the thing where he was a woman trapped in a man's body.
Right.
Like, a mother, I'll remember this picnic forever.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says that later when he's talking to that lady, he says, I never got that picnic with my daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a little convoluting. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how, and then it just goes widescreen.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the movie ends. And I'm left there just a bowl of emotions, mad, sad, wanting to call you at midnight and yell at you. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
I woke up so surprised with no text or call or anything. I was like, I guess he enjoyed it.
No, I mean, like I said, man, I was so mad at first, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if we'd have done this last night, you'd have got the business bad, bro. Like, my wife got home and I even told her about it. I was like, you know, this stupid fucking movie you just made me watch. And then I ended up telling her straight shit from the movie. And she's like, that sounds fucked up. I was like, I know, right? He just keeps it going with that shit. Like, I was upset.
Yeah.
I was upset.
I know. After Miss March, I was like, I'm
Oh,
pulling.
you
from,
got me back, motherfucker.
I'm
You
pulling from
definitely-
the top deck. Like, here you go.
Yeah, you definitely pulled the old ace card on me, bro.
Yeah.
You got me. But like I said, beautiful visuals with the house on fire and then
The house on fire, I took it as the decisions you make in life are the ones you're going to have to deal with. Like, if you're going to buy this house on fire, you're going to burn in it.
Right.
But that's your choice.
right.
And that's kind of like another message through this movie is your decisions. A good example from what I'm trying to say is on the plane. He's reading the self-help book.
Oh, and the ladies next to him.
And
Almost forgot about that scene. That bitch was crazy. The blonde lady.
Oh, she's crazy.
The psychiatrist. She was crazy as fuck in that movie.
Yeah.
It's $45 for that book. Little parts that were funny in this movie.
But in that moment, she's offering herself to him, and he rejects her. The book ends. That's basically saying, like,
I showed you my leg. You did nothing. This book is over.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just flipping through empty pages. Yeah.
And that goes with like decisions you make in your life. Like, let's say a girl comes up to you and she's offering herself. You can either go for it or you can't. But if you don't, nothing happens.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah.
Yep.
So I said, man, like, it made me feel dumb too. I was mad there because, like I said, there's just so much, just deeper. You know what I mean? Like,
that's the thing I love about this movie so much is, like, it's very, very dense. It can make you feel dumb because there's so much going on. But at the end of the movie, you still feel something. Like, it took you out of your comfort zone, no matter who you are.
I was about to say, because I haven't felt that way after watching one of the movies since we watched, not Pie, the other one, the one with Gyllenhaal.
Enemy.
Yeah, Enemy. That was the same way. Like, I just kept feeling like, bro, there's something going on here I'm not getting. You know, but that's definitely one of those movies. Every time you would go back to watch it, you're gonna pick something else out of it. Like,
and an interview with the director, that's what he talked about. He's like, I want to make a movie that when you watch it at different times in your life, you're gonna get something different out of it. And I felt that this time. Like, the first time it was about the play and it's about making something great and wanting it to be perfect, wanting it to make an impact on the world. And now for me, I noticed the relationships a lot more. Like, I noticed him and Hazel, how they
never kind of find each other at the right time,
but they're always so attracted to each other. Like, they're always drawn to each other. They're always in each other's lives, but they're never that, you know. And
then when he finally does get her, she passes away.
Right.
They say it's smoke inhalation.
Yeah.
You know, which I thought was crazy. Oh, even that the one lady, the one that played Hazel. She's a good actress. She's been in a bunch of stuff. She played the blind chick in Red Dragon.
That's what I was talking about earlier.
Oh.
The lady from Red Dragon.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about Hazel.
Well, I mean, she was Hazel.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean. But, like, I meant the real Hazel, which I've seen her in other stuff too. But, you know, the crazy at the beginning of the movie, they did a really great job of accentuating her rack. And then by the later in the movie, when she got old, they didn't show any of her rack. Which, I don't know. I just threw that out there. What's wrong with old lady racks, man? Like, you know what I
mean? The old ladies are too covered up for you?
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like that. I was going to take a picture of, like, when he's, like, super, super old. It'd be like me after watching Synecdoche, New York. But then I was like, that's Philip Seymour Hoffman, and it'd probably get taken wrong or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
if he wasn't passed away, it would be funny. But
or I was gonna turn it back on and get that first 5 seconds where he's just listening in the bed and he just starts crying. I was like, me after watching this movie, like. But yeah,
I knew you weren't gonna like it, but it makes me happy that you got something from it.
Yeah, man, you are just, who hurt you, bro? Like,
I know.
You just love these movies where, like, these guys just go through hell and back. Like,
I've really noticed that. I've been listening to a lot of, like, movie reviews, and they're talking, this one podcast, they were talking about Joker, and they kept referencing, like, Taxi Driver, and they're like, it's not as great as everyone makes it seem. And I'm like, no, it's fucking amazing. But then I start thinking about all the movies that I like, and it's all people that are just down on their luck. And
shit's going wrong.
Everything's going bad, and nothing gets better. Like, what is wrong?
So I say, it's like, bro, like, do you need a hug? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not all despair, bro. There's some good shit out here too.
Something I don't know why I'm attracted to that. I blame it on the game. I watched the game when I was like 11 years old.
Yeah, that movie will fuck you up. I watched that at a young age too.
And it's just stuck with me. I love that like downward spiral into despair.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get that from music too.
Right.
Like Funeral Doom, if you ever listen to that, it's just the most depressing music.
I have all their albums. I don't know what the fuck that is.
It's a genre, not a band.
Oh, okay.
It's a whole group of music.
So way worse. All right. Yeah, love those guys. But I like a good message, bro. I do like a good message. I like it better when I understand it.
Yeah.
But like I said,
I'm the opposite. I like it when I don't know what's going on really, and I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, you like to make up your own ending, bro. What did that mean to you? Like, that's your kind of ending.
Yeah.
I just want cut and dry, bro. Show me some credits.
Mm-hmm.
Show me a gag reel. You know, like I want to leave that bitch knowing exactly what I saw.
You know what's funny is it's translating into other parts of my life, like the new tattoo that I got. It's an astronaut, a scuba diver with a skull in the middle with the third eye.
Yeah.
People are like, "What does that mean? What does it mean to you?"
You and your fucking arm, even your arm tattoo is a fucking abstract.
Abstract message.
You're the Banksy of tattoos.
I love that though. I love it when a movie's kind of like a puzzle piece that you need to like put together in your mind. I don't know. That's just my.
Yeah.
But the good thing, because next after this we're doing 3,000 Miles to Graceland. I think these were the perfect contrast to each other because this is like super.
Oh, it's definitely one end of
artsy.
the fucking spectrum, night and day, dude.
And 3,000 Miles is just like a dumb action movie, and I can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah, I was so mad last night, bro. I was just gonna write down like 20 terrible things to say to you, but like, I was like, no, let it marinate. And then when I woke up this morning, I was still feeling like shit.
Yeah.
I grabbed the kids, gave them a nice, strong hug before I took them to school. And I was just like, all right, let's do this. But,
So what do you grade Synecdoche, New York?
oh, here we go. That's the real thing. What do I grade this shit on?
Yeah.
Like I said, I've said many times, we've had conversations, like even if I don't like the movie, if I can take something out of it that I did enjoy or at least was interesting enough to me, I'm not going to give you the worst grade ever.
Mm-hmm.
But I will not be watching this movie again.
Nah, I don't expect you to.
And it really just made me sad as like that's how his life really ended up, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Not right then, but later on, like, I don't think I would watch it. Even if I loved the movie, I don't think I could watch it again, bro, because it would just not bring good memories back of him.
It was hard to watch
it
it this time around.
And then you think about it again, man, like almost all the movies he's in, he gets fucked over. Like,
True.
he gets fucked in Boogie Nights. And, well, he's not really fucked over in Boogie Nights. He's just a small character, you know? Like, and they kind of shit on him through the movie. Red Dragon plays fucking paparazzi type, like, you know.
Yeah, and Big Lebowski, he's the bitch, basically.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of movies that's like that, though, that he does, you know. But it's just
he's a
great
treasure.
actor, man.
Yes.
Such a great actor. Oh, shit. I forget it. He played the bad guy in Mission Impossible 3. He played
didn't he?
Great fucking villain in
I
that.
forgot about that.
I don't even like Tom Cruise, bro, but he did a great job in that movie. I hate Tom Cruise, bro.
I don't. It's a take it or leave it. Like, I like his movies, like Minority Report. I love Minority Report, but not because of Tom Cruise, just because I like that movie.
I think it's just like he's such a crazy asshole in real life. It's like I have trouble believing that you could be a real person. You know what I mean? Like that's how he's such a cartoon character in real fucking life. It's like
True, but he's one of those actors. It's like if you don't like him as a person, you're not gonna like his movies.
See, that's not always the case for me though, bro. Because I love Bruce Willis as an actor, but I hear he's a fucking terrible human being. Like you mean like to fans and to people and shit. Like, so it's not like a make or break thing. But then again, it is too because I met Pauly Shore and I don't watch any of his shit now.
Yeah,
he was just that big of a cock. Like I was just like, man, fuck this guy, bro.
True.
You haven't been famous in 20 years, motherfucker. You should be lucky anybody's even noticing your ass anymore.
I like you, Pauly Shore.
What?
Just in case he listens to this podcast.
Oh, I
you know?
mean, don't get it twisted, Pauly. Like we could still be friends, you know. But like, Son-in-Law was like one of my favorite movies growing up, dude. Biodome.
My wife Kendra, she never watched Encino Man. So on Thanksgiving, before everyone came over, I rented it and we watched it.
Like
people hate him, and I get it, but I like his movies.
Well, if you grew up with him, you know, like we did, like, you know,
like
fucking Goofy movie, dude.
Biodome is so bad, but I'm
a
still
Sherman tank. Bah! And like, I don't think that Baldwin brother gets enough love. I fuck with Stephen Baldwin, man.
True.
He was in the second Flintstones movie.
I play Barney.
Yeah.
In the Army. I don't really care for that one.
I don't like that one. In the Army.
That's like
Jury Duty. I don't really like that one either.
Yeah.
But his main three, yeah, man, they're great. Mm-hmm. They're great.
What'd you rate this movie? You didn't say. I'm like on the edge of my seat.
I'm gonna give it a 4.2.
4.2.
4.2.
For you, that's decent.
It's not quite a 5. Like, you know what? And I will say this for everybody, because I might have been a little harsh on my review of Sorry to Bother You. I am changing my grade of a 5 to a 6.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Just because some of that shit, like, that we go back and talk about it, I died laughing, bro, just thinking about it. But before you say anything, you're going to have a horse cock. Like, that shit. Shout out to Army Hammer, man. I wanted to be that guy's friend so bad, bro.
He killed that role.
He's the only dude in America that's got a deeper voice than me and is a foot taller. Like, I want to hang out with Army Hammer, bro. I don't. That sounded weird. I don't want to fuck Army Hammer. I want to hang out with Army Hammer.
Right.
Yeah.
I do have to give a fixer. I don't know what you would call it. In that review, Sorry to Bother You, I said it was
said it was Lawrence Fishburne as the horseman?
Right, but it was actually Forrest Whitaker.
Which is still great. Like, they're both treasures.
Right.
Old Larry Fishburne didn't show up for that one. They got Forrest, though. Bruh, from East Oakland. Talk normal.
I love that. I give this a bolt thrower. It's basically like a 2.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not my favorite movie, but it's like up there.
When's the last time you did watch this? Oh, you did watch it before this, didn't you? Didn't you say that?
Yeah, but it's been about 4 or 5 years since I watched it beforehand.
You need that time in between so you could get yourself prepared for that shit. Like,
yeah, this is not a back-to-back watch. This is a hard watch, but definitely worth it. Like, no matter who you are, if you watch this movie, it will touch you in some way.
The ways you don't want to be touched. I'm trying to think of the last movie that kind of like how I felt after I watched it, bro. Like, Joker was pretty close. Like,
yeah,
Joker was brutal in some parts to me, anyways. Just like, because the whole concept of any normal person after so much shit can snap. You know what I mean? Like, like they say in the trailer, it only takes one bad day. You know, like,
right.
So that kind of fucked with me because like that guy's descending to madness. Like, Joaquin Phoenix doesn't win a fucking Oscar for that shit. I'm boycotting them bitches forever, dude. This man earns this shit. He's won every fucking award up until now. The man better win a fucking Oscar for this shit. Like, this is probably the best job he's done since Walk the Line, man.
I think so too.
And I love him in that fucking movie.
It's one of those roles I keep forgetting it's Joaquin Phoenix. Like, he like disappears
into that role.
Into Arthur Fleck. Like, I really, really like love.
It'll be
movie.
really interesting to me to see if he does any other movie, like the next movie he does. Because like, to pull yourself out of that shit just to go back to living normal, you know what I mean? Like, he gave himself a fucking eating disorder from this shit. Like, he said that he had a real hard time getting back into interviews and being around people because it just like he just closed himself off in his mind.
I think that's the Joker, just character in general.
Everybody that's ever said anything about playing that role, they've all gone fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Except Jack Nicholson, who might have already been crazy.
Yeah, because you have to get into a part of your mind that you don't usually go to.
Right. And like Jared Leto, they knocked his shit down to a fucking cameo, bro, and he still went full method for that shit. Like, people didn't want to work with him anymore.
But he's already fucked. He was already fucked up before that, I think.
He's one of those guys, though, man. Like, you can say what you want. You can not like his movies or not, because I'm not going to lie. I'm not a huge Jared Leto fan. There's not like 20 of his movies I love, but he shows up and he fucking shows out. Like, the dude can fucking act. Like, he got an Oscar for playing a transsexual AIDS patient, bro. Like, that's fucking brutal. Like, to bring that to life.
Such a great movie, too.
Yeah, Bias Dallas Club is very good. Matthew McConaughey, like, I was pissed that Wolf of Wall Street didn't win that year, but McConaughey deserved it for what he had to go through to make the, losing the weight and shit like that. Like, he deserved it.
Definitely.
But
have you ever seen True Detective?
First season. Loved it. him and Woody, that was an amazing fucking season.
Yeah, they have amazing chemistry. Like I was so sad they didn't keep.
Oh, season 2 is dog shit.
I haven't seen it because it's not them. So
I watched
don't care.
one episode of it and it was like, nope, I don't want to watch Colin Farrell.
I heard the third season got a little better, but
isn't that the one with the guy that's playing Blade, the African dude? Isn't he in the third season of that?
I think so.
I think so.
I don't know his name, but
this one seems like it's kind of going back and forth in time too. Like I guess they all do that a little bit, but the second season had Vince Vaughn and Colin Farrell, and my dad said Vince Vaughn did a really good job because, like I said, I couldn't do it. Like I just don't find Colin Farrell that great, man. Like he's only got like 2 movies I enjoy that he's in.
Mm-hmm.
American Outlaws, which I loved as a kid, and I go back and watch it now, and it's horribly historically inaccurate, like a motherfucker. But you know, I was 12, so what do you want from me?
Right.
And Phone Booth, fucking love Phone Booth.
I didn't bother. It looks stupid.
That's the most range you're ever gonna see is that show in a movie. Daredevil was shit. Played a terrible bullseye. We didn't get a bullseye for another 10 years. He killed that role so bad.
I like that movie, like that Daredevil movie.
Why?
I don't know.
You should like Reindeer Games more than you like Daredevil, dude. Daredevil, I think next to Geely, it's the worst fucking Affleck movie.
For some reason, I get some kind of like enjoyment out of it, but it also we're doing the guilty pleasures thing.
Oh, it's on there.
No. Elektra was on there.
Oh God, no. God, no.
I owned Elektra on DVD, and for some reason, I kept watching it over and over, and I don't know why. It's a horrible fucking movie.
I get it, but Jennifer Garner's sexy as shit and leather in that movie. Like, I get it, but like...
But I took it off and replaced for something else. Yeah.
Elektra.
But it was on there.
That, people say it's between that and Catwoman with Halle Berry. That's the worst comic book movie of all time.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a good movie, but it struck some chord with me that made me want to keep watching it.
Hey, man, we all got a couple of them, bro.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, look forward to that. Guilty Pleasures episode coming soon. Look at that. But, and the Harry Potter trilogy, we're doing that too. Or
trilogy, saga.
You know what I mean? Yeah. all eight of them.
Yeah. My wife wants to do the entire Harry Potter series. So I think after 3,000 Miles to Graceland, we're probably going to do that one.
Cool.
And then after that, we'll do the Guilty Pleasures because I've been looking forward to that one.
Yeah. I started working on my list the other night. I think you're going to be very surprised with some of my picks. Because you're just going to be like, bro, I didn't even know you would watch that.
I think it's going to go both ways.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I hope so. I'm hoping there's something.
I got some fucking bangers on my list. You're like, wait, what is that? That doesn't make sense.
This is a guilty pleasure, bro? Like, you should love this. Like, tell everybody you love this fucking movie. Like, hopefully. Yeah. But that's why we do this, bro. Find out a little bit more about each other. And,
yeah, true.
Get those opinions out.
I had the Underworld movies on there for a little bit, but then I was thinking, I'm like, it's not a guilty pleasure. I fucking love these movies.
I love the
and
first
I don't give
one.
A shit. I love all the first 3. I love them.
Yeah, Rise of the Lycans was pretty good. But I love that guy, Martin, whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm.
The dude that plays the werewolf.
I think he did a great job.
He's a good actor, period. Like,
it's just a fun movie. Like, shut your brain off and just have a good time.
Right. The second one is where it started getting a little silly, but the last one I went and saw, The Blood Wars, that was terrible.
Yeah,
Even Awakening was shit.
Yeah, that one I watched, I'm like, oh, this is getting bad. I'll just stick to the first 3.
It was kind of like, by the 5th one, it was just like, all right, well, if she can't beat this guy, we're just going to give her a new fucking power.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was just like, really?
Yeah, they're just Dragon Ball Z-ing it.
For real, like, Super Saiyan 2, man. Oh, now we got 3.
You ready to talk about 3,000 Miles to Graceland?
Yeah, bro, because that movie is fucking awesome. You're welcome.
I guess I'll have to wait and find out.
Later.
Later.